On an island, a long time ago, there lived a boy named John. And he had a very drummy adventure. His story is told on the very thing that made him famous, his drums. One day, it was raining outside. John asked his Nana if he could go play. "Nana, can I go play?" "You be careful, sonny boy." When John went outside, he looked at the local forest. A boy shouted, "John, you are my friend." When he was walking to the forest, he saw a house full of cats. And then he tripped, and the ambulance had to come. John cried the whole time, wondering why would the spiritual beings let this happen to him. A large man walked to find John face down in a ditch.
I'm a bully man.
He was a bully man. The man's friends came also. John was afraid. "I'm so afraid. I'm afraid. Nana, come save me. Come save me, Nana." The rain continued to fall. And when all hope was lost, John spotted it. What you now would call a maraca. The bell chimed as it was ready for John to go to school. And John picked up the maraca before the other kids could see him. He played it once. Then he played it again. When he played that maraca, something magical happened, as though all his worries just went away. When John had looked around, everybody was around him, with the biggest smiles on their face. He named this the Make Me Happy Rod, because it made everyone happy. John went to sleep that night. His Nana had found the Make Me Happy Rod, or maraca, as you would call it nowadays, and hid it. When John woke up the next morning, it was still raining. The island has been experiencing a lot of bad weather lately, and lately the rain has been the only weather that has been there. John went to go check his drawer for the maraca, and he discovered it was gone. John began to weep gently. That's when George Harrison came. Oh wait, I made a mistake. It doesn't say George Harrison. It says Georgie the Hairy Son. The knocks were at John's door. John was too afraid. He had to find the Make Me Happy rod to save his life of his Nana and him. Let me in! Shouted the man. Let me in! Shouted the man again. Let me in! Shouted the man's friend. John escaped out the back door. He walked to the forest, where he found what he calls now a bass drum. John noticed the bass drum was making the ocean act weird. He played it some more. The bass drum was shaking the earth to make waves. He called this the mighty drum of bass. John looked some more, and he found a snare drum. The snare drum did nothing important. He just found it. He also found cymbals. John wanted to find more, but he noticed the bully mat and his friends were approaching quick. Before he knew it, the bully man had attacked him and stole his cymbals, his bass drum, and his snare, which I had pointed out really did nothing. John was beaten and sad when the cats came by. They had brought him 3 toms, one small, one medium, and one big. However a cat could pull something of that weight is beyond me, but this is a fictional story of John's Drummy adventure. John brought the toms to town, where he had gotten trees and broken the little limbs off and used them as sticks. He called them stick drums. The bullies had come to meet John for the final showdown. Who would get their own Drummy adventure? They had decided it would be a battle over drums to see who would come out on top. John pulled out his toms and played a sick beat. But sadly, the bully kid came. He pulled out his bass drum, his snare, and his cymbals, and he played what is now known as a masterpiece. utterly defeated. But who knew what would come of this? The bullies came to retrieve their prize. But when everything looked so bleak, Nana came with the maraca. The bullies were thrown back by the happiness, and John retrieved his drum set. Sorry, I'm trying to read these words. John remembered a picture he saw. He arranged the drums in that order to make what he called a drum set, and his true drummy adventure began. With Nana by his side with the Make Me Happy rod, no one could stop them, and John rode off into the sun with the snare drum! The end. For more stories like John's drummy adventure, check out the author 5MTB or 5 Minutes Till Bedtime. This is Kink Dinkelman signing off. Bye, fellas.